Welcome to The Real Review, sponsored by Parametric and Lazy Ape Studios, where you get some of the latest happenings, real thoughts, and perspectives in the world of film and television. This is our Coming Soon and News segment, where we discover and cover all of the coming soon films, right, Matt?
Right.
I caught you off guard there, didn't I?
No, I'm just agreeing with you wholeheartedly.
Oh, I was going for it, yeah. I was trying to catch you off guard.
Okay.
I apologize.
Wait, what are we talking about?
We're talking about coming soon films, Matt.
Okay, cool.
We're going to be talking about those as well as some news, some different news items that have come out of this past week, as well as films, as I said, coming soon. So films that are coming out within this coming weekend. And we generally only really talk about the major theatrical releases.
Right.
There are some smaller ones at times we do talk about. So, and some Netflix releases at times as well. So, but before we get into that, I just want to remind you all real quick of some great ways that you can get connected to us here on the podcast. We've got all of the social media stuff going on. You can check us out at realreviewmedia.com as well, where we have a newsletter. We're always posting things, different awesome things, right, man?
Yes, awesome things.
Yes, awesome things. And then we have our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitters, which is all at Real Review Media or facebook.com/Real Review Media. You can get connected there. And as always, you can email us if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, maybe some news that you would like for us to discuss. You can email us at realreviewmedia@gmail.com, and it's spelled REEL, as always.
I'm gonna email you some concerns.
Some concerns. I am very concerned about the look of your jib. The jib of your jib. I'm very concerned about it.
Yep, I'm concerned.
Cool. I would like to know what those concerns are, Matt.
Not on the air. I'll email them.
I'm here to make you feel comfortable,
I'll
Matt.
email them to realreviewmedia@gmail.com.
You're going to create a different email address.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, I am.
Clever man. Awesome. Well, with that all being said, why don't we get into talking about some upcoming films opening this week?
Let's do it.
Yeah, so the first one we have is The Circle. And this is a film that is being released, I believe it comes out Friday, which is
Thursday
these days, yeah.
But previews or whatever.
Yeah. So the synopsis for this one is a woman lands a dream job at a powerful tech company called The Circle, sure enough, only to uncover a nefarious agenda that will affect the lives of friends, family, and that of humanity. Its director is James Ponsoldt, and it's starring Emma Watson, Tom Hanks, and John Boyega are the big three names that are part of that one. So,
indeed.
What would you like to talk about with this one, Matt? Any thoughts on The Circle?
You know what? This is probably the biggest release, I'd say, this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm only really interested in it because, one, I really like John Boyega.
Yep.
Two, I'm interested. I love Tom Hanks, but I'm more so interested in seeing him play what seems to be some type of bad guy.
Right.
It seems like he's the antagonist in this one.
He doesn't usually do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't remember a movie where he's kind of an antagonist. Do you remember a movie?
Trying to think.
I don't remember anything.
He's usually the good guy.
Because he's kind of charming and likable.
Yeah.
So this is the first time where I'm seeing something where he's not.
I mean, he kind of got some people shot in Captain Phillips. I mean,
nah, come on.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, he's awesome in Captain Phillips.
Yeah, he's great.
But I'm interested in seeing that. Emma Watson's never really been a big draw for me.
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, she was part of the Harry Potter movies. Yeah. I mean, that was cool.
I'm laughing at that because this is the least, not least realistic, but it's one of the least realistic roles I could see Emma Watson in. I don't see her as like a tech guru, nerdy type person that would want to work at like a Google.
And you don't see her as Belle. What do you see her as?
I really see her as a drama. I mean, like a drama, Girl Next Door.
Hermione,
yeah, Hermione. I mean, I could see her in an adventure type film, but I see her more as like a kind of a just everyday girl that's going through drama, family drama type movie, maybe a romance movie, and not to be like pigeonholing girl actors or anything like that. It's just she does not look the part of like this kind of a tech. I mean, I love tech. I'm into it. I enjoy it. I work with cameras. I love going to nerd events. Like this doesn't look like, you know what I mean? This doesn't look like the kind of person, I read Engadget and Wired and things like that. She doesn't like strike me as that kind of a person.
Right.
So, I mean, none of these actors really do necessarily. Like Tom Hanks doesn't strike me as like a Eric Schmidt type person either. And John Boyega, I love him as an actor, but I don't see him as that kind of a guy.
You don't see them going to nerd events?
A great example is like you haven't watched the show, but I love the show Silicon Valley.
Okay.
Which we're going to talk about, I think, in an upcoming Tube Talk episode.
Yeah.
those guys look like geeks. Like they look like the kind of people that would really be into tech. These look like models pretending to be people that are into tech, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. Like I might be able to remove the realm of believability a bit, but this concept as well is so huge. It's that, and it's so overplayed as well, which is kind of boring.
Right.
It's like the idea that they could create this company that would just have control over everything.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, we've seen that done how many different times now?
Right.
So I don't know. Any other thoughts?
No, I mean, I'm not super excited for it. I'll probably.
Yeah, between this and the other one.
I don't know.
We can talk about that after, but on an excitement level of like 1 to 10.
6.5.
6.5.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested. It has enough in it that's interested. I like thrillers. It's probably one of my favorite genres outside of everything else. But I just like having. I want to be like kind of on the edge of my seat, like what is happening. But I don't know if it's going to portray that. I didn't feel that watching the trailer. You know?
It looked very flat to me.
Right.
In the sense that like it didn't really draw any interest of any of the specific things. I mean, shocker at the end, the circle's going to be bad and it's going to be controlling people's lives and maybe getting people killed, and
it's making like this like social commentary on social media today, Facebook or whatever.
I think the biggest twist will just be like whether, obviously I haven't seen the movie, so I might be spoiling anything, and there's an embargo on this, by the way, still, correct? Which
is a little bit concerning,
right?
Because typically if there's an embargo past, I would say Tuesday.
Yeah, there's at this point in the game there should be reviews.
There should be a review at some point in time. Like give it a week out so people can get excited about it and talk it up. But you would only hide reviews if you have something to hide. You know?
So I mean, like to me, the big thing at the end of this is Emma Watson going to be able to overpower the circle, or is she going to like give into it and join it and be a part of the whole mechanism? You know what I mean? That's kind of like the big.
Well, bring it down.
I feel like it's going to boil down to. Yeah. But So
what's your excitement level?
Probably 5 out of 10.
Okay.
So
cool.
Then that being said, any other thoughts?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool. Well then, that being said, then let's move on to our next movie, which is a film called Sleight.
Like sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that totally wrong. I'm reading it too, which is absolutely awful. So this film is about a young street magician played by Jacob Lattimore, who's left to take care of his little sister after their parents' passing, and turns to illegal activities to keep a roof over his head. When he gets in too deep, his sister is kidnapped, and he's forced to use his magic and brilliant mind to save her.
Right.
So this film is being directed by, I don't have that information right in front of me, but excuse me,
J.D. Dillard.
J.D. Dillard. You've got Jacob Lattimore, Sachel Gabriel,
yes.
and Dulé Hill.
I love Dulé.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Magic head.
Yeah, there you go. So why don't you talk about this one a little bit, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said already, I love Dulé Hill. I'm just glad to see him in something. Him and James Roday and Psych are like one of my favorite like bromances ever.
Yeah.
And he's doing the Tom Hanks in this thing that Tom Hanks is doing in The Circle. He's kind of the bad guy in this one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shady gangster character, but it focuses more so on Jacob Lattimore's character, and the promotional material is like it's Chronicle meets Iron Man. You know, you were saying that earlier, and I got the Chronicle vibes because he's a magician, but he actually has powers.
Right, he has like an ESP
and telekinesis.
Probably more telekinesis.
Yeah, so like he's moving things
right with his mind,
which is like what they do in Chronicle.
Yeah.
And so I like that vibe because I really like Chronicle, and I like that kind of finding out I have abilities. But I don't get the Iron Man vibe as much. It's more of like he's caught up in like these gangs.
Yeah, it's more of like a gang movie meets Chronicle,
right?
To me,
which is cool. I'm interested in seeing it. I'm actually probably more interested in seeing this because it looks more intriguing.
Yeah.
In the trailers, maybe the trailer's just better cut, but I think it does look more interesting.
So the funny thing about this one is it definitely looks, the production overall looks like even considering who the production group is, Blumhouse. Blumhouse, sorry.
Yeah. Blumhouse, like budget, a bloomin' onion.
Yeah. The budget definitely looks a lot smaller for this one, but the concept intrigues me more.
Yeah.
I like that they're trying something that's a little bit different, where they're trying to kind of mash up a couple different genres in a new way. And I also like the fact that it is it's okay with going with an R rating, and it's going for the R rating, whereas Chronicle came across as a very strong PG-13 type movie to me with some R-ish type elements. So I don't know if it'll go there, but that was kind of like my big frustration we talked about in our last review episode. I get frustrated by the fact that they make it into like this. It could go a lot further. It could go a lot darker and a lot deeper, and it doesn't. So I'm excited for that reason. For that reason, there isn't a lot of other elements that super intrigue me, but I'm liking the overall idea that they're going into like a different kind of genre.
Right. So I think what happened here is, first of all, this movie premiered at Sundance in January of 2016.
Yeah, it's been out for a little while.
So
as far as making the rounds in some areas.
Right, festivals, whatnot, but theaters wide release this weekend. And it did well at festivals, and I think, not as well as it wanted to because it had some issues with distribution. This is why we're not seeing it till now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that necessarily means. It's still fresh, just barely on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Which bodes well that there's actually reviews of it on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Which is good. But I am interested in seeing it. My excitement level is probably more obviously than The Circle. I give it probably more about a 7.
I think with this one, because it's made the the run, it's been around a little bit, it would be surprising if there weren't any reviews out there for it. But yeah, I'd probably put this one closer to like a 6.5 out of 10 for its excitement level. I think that there's more for me to kind of have interest. It doesn't feel like it's just subsidiary of a bunch of other stuff as much. So cool, Matt. So there's some other news then that you wanted to go over.
Yeah, news, man. Okay, so this first one is kind of cool, and I kind of predicted it to go this way. But Fox announced their latest X-Men film, kind of in this newer trilogy that they've gone with these new X-Men characters, and it's going to be titled Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
You sound so disappointed, but here, my initial thing is, makes sense. You can't gloss over the events of what happened in X-Men Apocalypse and not address the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because Sophie Turner's character, Jean Grey, absolutely just went all berserker mode and destroyed Apocalypse like that. And so
that's kind of my big problem is I really didn't like Sophie Turner.
Really? I liked Sophie Turner. Okay.
I didn't like her. I didn't feel like there was anything there for me to latch onto. I didn't get her accent. I don't think she did a very good job with her non-British accent type thing. Yeah. So I just didn't. That was like one of the weakest parts of the movie to me was her character.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked. I liked the movie. Again, and we talked about this before. It was kind of one of those movies that a lot of people didn't like, but I actually really dug.
I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I just didn't like her. And
I like Sophie Turner. Whatever. Anyway, so I think it's cool. Makes logical sense to be doing this. It comes out in the late summer of 2018.
Yeah. I wish they would recast it.
Well, okay, so they also announced that along with Deadpool's coming out a few months before that.
Yeah.
So they have kind of a lot going on Fox's, and I think that's those 2 secret release dates they had planned, but they didn't announce till now. But I don't know. Any other thoughts to that?
No, I mean, I'll try and keep my personal opinions to myself in regards to her and the role and just see what they can do.
No, you can tell us all about your personal opinions. I just disagree with them.
Yeah. Well, fine, Matt. I won't tell you anything. No, we'll wait to see what more comes out.
How about you just email me all of your concerns?
I will.
Okay.
I'll be setting up an email address.
Perfect. The next bit of news that I want to cover is, and this is kind of annoying at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't come as a shock, though.
Is Avatar is they moved their start date. Again, This is like the 4th or 5th time. It's kind of ridiculous. They're going to release 4 movies over the span of 2020 to 2025.
Right.
And here, this time, the only difference is they actually started production. They hadn't started production. When I say production, they actually started filming.
Right.
So they started filming. We'll see what happens. By the time this next Avatar 2 movie comes out, it's been 11 years.
I will say this. I'm excited that they're announcing a series that my kids can look forward to watching, even though I don't even have kids yet. That's what I'm excited for. I feel like my kids are really going to enjoy when this movie comes out.
It's so curious to me. Avatar was just this phenomenon and still holds a worldwide record for money
ridiculous.
made. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's not like it's Avatar, man. You start going down that bubble, down that path, not that bubble, but open that can of worms. I mean,
it's not even in pop culture at all.
Yeah, it's such a one-over kind of movie. It's not like it's that I mean, people love the movie. Don't get me wrong, but for me, it's just kind of a whatever.
Don't doubt James Cameron. Every time he comes to the box office with something, he blows people away.
I think he's gotten, to be honest, though, I think he's gotten extremely lucky in some ways.
Right.
I mean, it's not that he's a bad filmmaker. I love, don't get me wrong, Terminator 2, Aliens, like great movies, but like I just think he's done he's figured out the exact formula.
Titanic.
Right, Titanic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's figured out the exact formula and he knows how to hit it.
Yeah. So I'm kind of at this point, I don't really care about the news because, we'll find out in a year
that
they're like, oh, never mind, we're not going to do this, or
I
we're
know.
going to move it back another year or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. We're making 10 movies, but they're not coming out till 3000 AD.
We're going to film them, and then we won't release them till 3 years after I've died.
Yeah, but we're going to release them in an opposite order. So it's going to release with the last film first.
And then you have to watch them backwards.
You have to watch them backwards.
Yeah.
So you can't even watch them after they've been released.
Okay, we're going down this crazy rabbit trail.
That's the point of that. We're going to release the middle movie and then half of the third movie. And we're going to give you just segments of different films, and you have to just put it together on your own, which they actually did that on Rick and Morty, which is the funniest thing. They released all the episodes on an episode on Vine in reverse order.
Oh my gosh.
And you had to piece it all together, but you had to wait until they'd released it all the way through.
That sounds frustrating.
Yeah. It's very frustrating, I'm sure, yeah.
So that's it for
Nolan thing.
That's it for me on that Avatar. Okay, good for you. We'll see how that plays out in three to 5 years.
Yeah.
The other last bit of information I wanted to cover real quick, just want to get your thoughts on, is they're going to have a spin-off of Jason Statham and The Rock's character from the Fate of the Furious.
Finally.
Or just the Furious. Which is okay. I kind of like their chemistry, but it's just going to be more ludicrous, like kicking guys and having them shoot 20 feet in the air.
I mean, there's one thing that we know. It's that usually when they make a spinoff, it doesn't get less unrealistic.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more grounded. It usually goes in the opposite direction where they get more silly and cheesy and over the top. So it's like, yay, a spinoff to an already kind of silly, cheesy, over the top.
I'm on board with this only if they name it Hobbs and Shaw, because Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, I think that just fits. It rolls off the tongue. Hobbs and Shaw. That sounds great.
What about Shaw Hobbs?
Shabs. Or
I like it.
It doesn't work.
We should send our thoughts to them at the studio.
If you're listening, Universal, you can give me a call over. Well, I'm not going to give my number over the air.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, just
you can send us your concerns.
Yeah, send us your concerns at Real Review. If it ends up being called like Shabs, I'm just gonna love it. I'll go watch it.
That'd be awesome.
Otherwise, it's a big if I end up seeing
so
that one.
It's gonna be ludicrous, but I like their chemistry, and I think that could be all right.
Have they talked about it? Is it like a legit spin-off? Like, does it take place at what time period?
No details.
Okay.
No details.
I'm guessing it would have to take place after the events of the last movie because they're kind of like buds now.
Right.
So, I mean, it'll probably have to take place within that
Which
time
still doesn't
period,
make sense. They call it the controversy.
Yeah.
As to why they'd be buds.
Right.
Well, I guess The Rock didn't know Han, so it doesn't really matter.
I guess. They made up over beating each other up. I mean,
and having a beer at a party on a rooftop.
Exactly.
Yeah, after the mercenary killer, serial killer.
They took down a submarine, Matt.
Okay, yeah.
That brings people together.
It is a unifying event.
That's a unifying event when they take down a submarine. Actually, he didn't even help with the taking down the submarine.
Right.
He was in a freaking plane up in the atmosphere.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Well, it was a joint effort.
It was a joint effort, yeah.
Okay.
It was It was a joint thing.
Well, that's it, man. That's all I got for news.
All right. Well, there you go. So with that, I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap things up on the Coming Soon and News segment for the Real Review. Again, just some good reminder and ways to get connected to us. We have our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, which can be found, Facebook in particular, at facebook.com/Real Review Media. Instagram and Twitter. You got that Real Review Media tag at Real Review Media. You can check out our website, realreviewmedia.com, where we have a bunch of good stuff we're always posting over there. And then, of course, I guess maybe if you feel like it, potentially a way to contact us if people want.
Email us all of your concerns.
There you go. Just say that every time now. Every single podcast now, just email your concerns. No good things, just your concerns.
But like our questions and comments and
just concerns, Matt.
Corrections.
They don't have any of those. Just concerns.
Or if you have really terrible TV show you want Joel to review.
We're just gonna get emails with links to like psychologists and psychiatrists, like station places to go. They're like, just this is my concern is you need to see these guys. Something like that. Anyway, yeah. So realreviewmedia@gmail.com is where you get connected there. So
cool.
Awesome. Anything more, Matt?
No.
All right. Well, then, it's been real.
It's been real.